Hello and welcome to the 2010 Villagers Podcast, Episode 3. Yes, I'm as surprised as you have survived this long, but we're back again. Joining me tonight, once again, I have Mr. Ash Walker, Mr. Jack Salt. How are we doing, lads?
Hello,
Samuel.
Feeling good? How can we just say, we made history on Monday night, guys. We lost to a team that hasn't lost a six-a-side game, hasn't won a six-a-side game for 3 years, so we're still buzzing out.
It was, yeah. Monday was not great.
But let's move on from Monday. I don't want to talk about it.
First order of business tonight, we'd like to say that tonight's show is dedicated to Jace Mycoe. As probably all Ferriby fans will know by now, suffered a really nasty injury on Saturday against Albion Sports. It was very worrying at the time, but he was quickly taken to hospital and he's getting the care he needs. But yeah, I think us three will all like to pass on our best wishes to Jason and his family.
Absolutely. Yeah, hope you get better soon, Jason.
Hope for a speedy recovery because it really was a nasty one. So we're all thinking of you, Jace.
Yeah, definitely.
So as always, we'll start with the news. Now, I'm afraid we've had to rejig the script at the last minute tonight because we've had a bit of breaking news.
All the Bruff knows about this breaking news. It was. Yeah.
Well, it's what time are we on? 20 to 8 at night, and we've got some fixtures.
But it's not the fixtures out.
Yes.
Are they out?
Mr. Matt Jones did not give us any time, but Matt, we'll take it.
If you're watching, you've been called all sorts.
I mean, I'm not quite sure Ethel at number 87 heard you, Jack. I don't think you quite shouted loud enough when you got out the car.
But anyway, we digress.
But yes, we have some fixtures, so we'll throw over to our expert, Mr. Salt, to give us some highlights of the fixture. We're not going to go through the full list, but we've picked out some highlights.
Yeah, I won't go through the full list. I'll go through our whole October because obviously we know September's. But we'll go through October's. First game in October, first Saturday, Dronfield at home, and then the Tuesday after, a nice trip up the M62 to Castleford to face Glasshoughton.
So that's 3 Tuesday night away games in a row.
Yes.
Can I just say, God has been kind to us. That is heaven.
I mean, it could have been Skegness, couldn't it?
I'll take it. 3 away games, 3 Tuesday night away games in a row. That's what dreams are made of.
And then we have a nice 3 home game run against Brigg, Parkgate and Nostell. With the latter of those, Nostell being a Tuesday night, so back at the Dransfield under the lights, boys.
Nothing better than a Tuesday night at the Dransfield.
And then we have Campion away, tough game. If it's on, it might spit in Bradford that day. And then another Tuesday night game the week after at home to our friends over the river against Winterton. Again, another big game. Campion, Winterton, 2 of the top 4 last season. So. Then it'll be good. And then the last game of October, the first Swallownest at home. Let's hope the floodlights don't go out this time. But yeah, picked out a couple of others. Selby at home on Saturday the 5th of December. Now this is something that we've all been looking forward to. Boxing Day football, gents.
Wow, we missed it last year.
We did miss it last year.
We missed being, everyone else being at football like normal on Boxing Day, and we weren't.
I've never been to a football game on Boxing Day.
Well,
can I just say, I never have.
Is that going to change this year?
We'll see.
That means no. So Boxing Day, we make the very long trip to Hayworth Park to face Hall Road, and then our friends from not quite the east side of the river will go for the north of the river.
The northwest.
Mr. Waltham's Barmy Army of Eastall, we take on away.
Hang on, when was that, Jack?
Which one?
Eastall.
So Eastall away is the 20th of February.
There'll be no game that weekend. They'll have gone back then.
But then we bring Eastall to the Theatre of Dreams on the 3rd of April, so very close to our...
Write that in your diaries, the league's getting won that day.
That's the day we win the title, folks.
Well, let's hope so. And then the last day is a trip that me and Sam have done before, one that Ash quite hasn't. The biggest slope in non-league football is Waresborough Way.
Oh yes.
What a place.
Wow.
What a place.
That is going to be some day. That I hope and I think that's going to be some sort of party.
Let's hope so.
Yes. So there you go, folks. There's our highlights that we've picked out from the season. Obviously it's caught everyone unawares this evening.
Very unawares.
Especially Jack.
You will have a graphic at some point this evening. I'm not sure when it will be. I was hoping it was going to be before the fixtures came out, but yes. Right, we'll skip over that one. What's next?
Right, okay. Well, next up is some big news for us in our first few weeks of being a podcast. The news revealed this week of all the different player sponsors for this season. The full squad have got themselves sponsored, so that's really good. And we're delighted to say, as we hope you've seen already, that we're going to be sponsoring Danny East this season, which, I mean, we're absolutely delighted about.
Big fish, haven't we?
We have done. We've done well. We saw the opportunity early and we took it. Cracking lad, Eastie. He's been brilliant in his short time at the club. He's got a lot of time for the fans. And yeah, we're absolutely delighted to be sponsoring Eastie this season. Hopefully, our name's getting read out a lot of times because it means he's scoring a lot of goals. Which I think on the evidence.
Did you want to get him on the forfeits?
No.
Unfortunately.
So read his name out as often as you want then.
Yeah.
Exactly. We don't care.
So good luck for the season, Eastie, and we're really delighted to be. It's the first time any of us have got involved in sponsoring players, so it's another first for us. So yeah, we're really pleased about that.
We are.
And I think it's fair to say we're all very excited by how he's been playing the first.
Absolutely, yeah. Pre-season he's been fantastic. He's been a class above, and like you said, Sam, he's an absolute top lad. He's been really nice to all of us, and he's really nice to all the fans. He's got loads of time for the club, got loads of time for Les and Jill especially, and we saw from the lads that came in last night after they finished training. Eastie and a few other lads came in, come in for a drink, and yeah, it's just nice to see that they're taking part within the club, and obviously he's a bloody good player to boot.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, now it's time for me and Jack and all of you at home to sit back, relax and enjoy the Jeff Stelling section, which we've been promised has got a little bit extra this evening, so it's over to you, Mr. Walker.
Strap yourselves in, guys. Amfort Garforth postponed. Brig, I don't bloody know. Brig Maltby postponed.
Oh dear.
COVID Waterloo pitch, no idea. Bury 1, Nostell 1.
Well, Nostell getting to play Bury. That was a big game for him in pre-season.
Oh, I don't think Bury will go out crowd though. 3, Hallam 4. In the Dronfield derby, Dronfield 1, AFC Dronfield 0. But there's a big crowd in for that one. I bet there was party in the streets of Dronfield at one side of Dronfield anyway. Elston United 1, Retford FC 6. Emley 3, Appersley 0. Grimsby Borough 3, Winterton 2. And Winterton, you're still persisting with those gifts. Please stop. Hemsworth 4, Rossington 1. Ollerton 4, Waresborough 1. Parkgate 3, Shirebrook 2. Pontefract 2, Campion 0. Selby 1, Yorkshire Amateur 6.
Oh dear.
Oh indeed.
Oh dear.
Sheffield 2, Swallownest 2. Skegness 5. Clifton All Whites 1. I'm baffled by some of these two names. I really am. Wakefield 3, Harrogate Railway 1. Now, I'm going to read a score out, and if you want to get this score, if you want to watch this game, it's on sale in Jamie Waltham's Caravan. Barton Reserves 1, East Hull 4. Like I said, Jamie, I've plugged your DVDs. Okay. Now, there was one result, and one thing that happened this weekend that should alarm everybody. So, on Saturday, we were greeted with nothing less than a tirade from our friends from Bridlington. Now, was this tirade from that little vicious cretin, the Brid Rebel? No. In fact, this tirade came from no other than Mr. Peter Smurfway.
Oh, did it?
What? I heard a gasp in shock. Surely such an upstanding man like that would not speak out in such a manner.
May I just interrupt here and say we haven't heard this. We do not know what is about to come out of that man's mouth.
Well, he did. He did do this tirade. It's very long, this tirade, so I'm going to pick out some highlights. So this is a favourite quote of mine. Last week's friendly was disappointing, both in the performance and financially. Sorry, Pete, I'm gutted for you. After paying the 3 officials, I was left with a grand total of £146 in gate receipts. Unlucky. So he thought that after fans being allowed back in for the first time since lockdown, people would be very eager to see live sport again. Well, Pete, you hadn't turned your club into a comedy show. Maybe they'd have turned up to a football game. You know, maybe they'd have thought there'd been a football game. And also his concert, boys. His concert. He's in no danger of being shut down at the minute of his new guidelines.
With the new 6 people rule, you've been alright, wouldn't you?
Oh dear. Right, how could it show? All in all, Brid are in the right state. Okay? I was looking forward to a trip up to Brid next season, but if Pete pulls a plug on them, and I think he might, he won't be going there, which is quite upsetting really. I want to say I do respect you, Mr. Smurthwaite, and you do put a lot of hard work into the club. However, this statement is pathetic and makes you like Jamie Waltham. This is not something you would see from our chairman, Sir Les Hare. Stop the comparisons, he's nowhere near Les's level. End. Oh, they've got beat 5-0 by Spennymoor, by the way. And they didn't get 300 in.
Well, quite outrageous.
Fantastic.
Evening, Pete.
Well done. Oh, we'll never get into that clubhouse again.
I'm glad.
You've missed someone.
Oh.
Well done on your tirade, by the way. That was very good.
Well, I'm getting to them. Nunsfork.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
come on, the weekly Nunsfork.
Nunsfork didn't have a game.
Oh,
What a shame.
However, good luck to all at Nunsfork Tavern as they start their Lincolnshire League campaign away at Louth Town on Saturday.
We're rooting for you,
So
boys.
good luck Nunsfork, and we'll be following you on Twitter.
We will.
We will do, yes.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, I don't know if I can get over that.
Cheers, Jeff.
Yeah, well done again, Mr. Stelling. Fantastic. Final bit I think we need to touch on is, obviously as we mentioned there, new COVID regulations, which happily we hope won't affect Ferriby, and we think they won't.
We should be alright, we think.
So as long as we're in these bubbles of 6 people or less when we're at a game, we can carry on. But, you know, the spectators in bigger grounds has been pushed back again, and I think it's worth mentioning. It's easy to bracket step 1 and 2 as elite sport, but when you look at some of the teams in step 1 and 2, that news will have hit them like a hammer blow today.
Yeah, I was saying to Jack in the car on the way here, it's not long ago we was at that level, and if he'd said to us, you know, you can't have a game for so long, you can't have fans in, we wouldn't have survived.
Yeah.
At all. It's not fair for certain clubs. Clubs need the money, and I think the government is going to have some blood on its hands, unfortunately.
Well, I think you can put regulations in place at these grounds. Yeah, have people stood in groups of 6 or less. But why does that mean that just because they're in the conference or the conference north-south, that they can't have any fans in? Why can't they have a maximum of 500, or at least it's something?
I think the problem with this, Sam, is that you've got some teams who are up there in that division that are wanting to count themselves as sort of like elite, as in they feel like they're almost in the top 4 leagues. Look at York, for example.
The money they pay as well.
Exactly.
Stockport,
Yeah,
I suppose.
the likes of those.
Money
Yeah,
to players
exactly.
as well, that their wage bill will compete with teams
Absolutely.
higher up.
York's wage bill will probably beat a lot of League 2 sides' budgets, Walker. Let's be fair.
Well, it probably will.
Let's be fair. And it's the sides like that, you can't have it both ways.
No.
Are you elite, or are you sort of like putting yourself down and saying you're not elite but you get to play? You've got to work that out. York went one way saying that this is no disrespect to York, by the way, this is just
Can we say rest in peace to Bootham Crescent as well?
yes,
Yes.
what a place.
Yeah, a couple of
But yeah,
trips
we'll
there
come
for
back
it.
to that. But yeah, if they want to tie themselves with the same brush as being an elite sport, they're going to have to face the consequences. And today is something that has come out. Obviously, we all thought that by October they were all going to start having fans in again. I think it's clear to see that that's not going to happen, especially with the new regulations. But yeah, if you want to tie yourself with that brush, then you've got to face it. And unfortunately, York have just got to put up and shut up.
There are other clubs as well. It's not,
No, of course.
Yeah,
That's the thing. I'm using
like
York
you say,
as an
it's
example.
difficult in them 2 leagues because, like you said, there is a good mixture of teams like that.
Look at Leamington.
But then you have teams
Absolutely.
like Leamington who are completely at the other end
You
of the
can't-
scale.
the way we're
Brackley,
doing it,
teams like that.
the way we've got our almost system and our COVID prevention, Leamington could implement that like that. The ground's not much smaller or much bigger than ours, if they're on the same size, you could easily do it.
So again, that's one we're going to have to monitor, as the whole country will be now with these new sweeping new changes.
There goes us having a big studio, by the way, with loads of people in.
Our live event we had planned. We'd sold 1,000 tickets already.
More than Jimmy Waltham's sold in his life.
So we'll move on. Packed news section tonight. So we'll move on now after the news to a look back on Saturday.
This road will make it see.
Yes. You've had one, but yes, you'll just have to sit there for a few minutes.
It's my weekly sponsor's silence.
So we played Albion. We played Albion Sports, team from the league above. One of my highlights of the day, as you can see, I'm now wearing the absolutely brilliant new away shirt that I picked up on Saturday, so it was worth going just for that. Thanks to Mark in the shop for getting all that organised.
I'm sure the club wouldn't have chosen you to be the model to show it.
Well, maybe not, but someone's got
it. You still have the one in your boots?
No, not anymore.
But on to the game. So we won 3-1.
We did.
I think it's fair to say we could have won 6 or 7-1. It's also fair to say that it wasn't Albion's first choice 11.
No, it wasn't.
By quite a way. But I thought that some of the football again that we played is just so encouraging, and in particular a combination between two players, one who we've mentioned already, Mr. East, and Scotty Phillips, who is absolutely on fire.
Absolutely.
And that combination in particular was brilliant on Saturday.
Yeah, that collaboration is one of those where it just works. You've got your number 10, your number 9, and they've just got that connection with each other. They're both lovely lads, they both really get along with each other, and they've both got bags of ability. Scotty, brilliant in the air, but also great with the ball at his feet. And we've seen the same with the likes of Tom Corner, who I'm really liking on the wing, by the way. Really, really like it. He's getting in, getting the ball set, and we saw for East's goal on Saturday, Tom with the chest down, passing it to Easty, and what a goal. But yeah, the way that not even just Easty and Scott Phillips, even though they're linking up really well, the full front line is linking up really well. You've got Danny Buttle making strides down the left wing, whether you've got Tom Corn down the right or whether you've got Emma down the right, it doesn't matter, because they're both players who have got bags of ability, and just the choices that we've got is just unbelievable. And like we said, it wasn't Albion's first team. Obviously, having played in the FA Cup on Tuesday night, I think
I need to apologise for that. I said we'd get hammered.
Yeah,
I can't get in and they got through, so I need to apologise for that.
Yeah, I know, but obviously I think 5 out of the whole squad played on the Tuesday night. I think the goalkeeper was one of them as well. But yeah, so obviously it was a fairly depleted Albion side, but they gave it a good go. They weren't great, but I mean, first half would have beaten anybody. I don't care whether we was playing Albion or whoever.
The bit that really encourages me is we're creating so many chances.
Absolutely.
And we're making it look easy, and we didn't do that last season. We got bogged down against teams and we couldn't break them down, and it was, I'm not afraid to say it was tedious at times. It really was, especially away.
Yeah.
But this year something's clicked, or it seems like it has anyway, and it's going, we look really dangerous. And like you mentioned about Scotty Phillips, obviously everyone thinks he's a tall lad, he's going to be good with his head, obviously, but good quick feet at the front post for his goal, for the first goal that he scored after that move involving Danny East. And just like Jamie Forrester, just making it look so easy in the middle of the park and just distributing the ball and getting us going forward. And that was really good. And also we looked decent at the back again. Obviously Albion's goal was a fantastic free kick. It's one of them, Lewis XI couldn't move. It was just one of them, no one's saving it. No. We stood right behind it at the other end, and we said when he placed the ball, this is going in, and it was a brilliant. He executed it well. But other than that, they never troubled us. And I suppose the sad thing is that obviously we probably know our 2 first choice centre backs are, but Jace Mycoe was putting in a good shout for himself, and then in the second half, that really unfortunate injury happened for him. We were stood not far away from it, and you could just sense on the bench and everything the worry straight away, and it was it wasn't nice to see.
No, it was
everyone was very concerned for him, and like we said at the top of the show, we wish him well, but he was having a good game. So Levi had been subbed, and then came back on, didn't he?
Yeah.
But again, we play. I thought our fullbacks were very good again. I thought going forward, especially, just even more threats for us. If we can get them two going forward as well, we just look so good going forward. It's so brilliant to see. And I know we sound excited and we sound like and it's only pre-season, but when you consider the opposition we've played in pre-season and the opposition we'll play in our league, it's hard not to be confident.
No, absolutely, and I mean that's what you say about the fullback, Sam. I mean, look at the right, especially Tom Corner. He's not blessed with pace. He's got a good bit on him, but he's not blessed with pace. But he's all right with it because he's got Ben Leyland absolutely bombing down that right hand side, and he'll have Liam Nelthorpe bombing right down the right hand side when he comes back from injury. But Ben has been fantastic the last 2 weeks in a row. He's been unbelievable, arguably one of the best players on the pitch. And he's certainly going to give Nelly a big run for his money for a starting place. But yeah, like you said, Sam, defensively we're a lot more improved. I think bringing Niall Tilsley in is a fantastic bit of business from us. He's one of those that he's a hidden gem that we've found. He's solid as a rock. He'll go through anything. And us, Sean, everybody, we've all said he's going to get sent off at least one time this season. But sometimes a bit of bite is what you need at the back. I think
we missed it at times.
Yeah, I think sometimes we was a bit too soft.
Yeah, a bit too nice at times.
Yeah, and we need to be a bit stronger. I could say a different word, but
it's like Jose on that Spurs documentary.
I know we need to be stronger within ourselves, and I think this year the quality of the squad has been upped massively, considering to the beginning of last year's squad. And the additions of the likes of Ewan Healy, who is a fantastic footballer, him and Jim Forrester in the midfield. Fantastic, both can spray the ball about left and right. And yeah, we've got a very, very good team, and it just showed on Saturday.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any of that. Just final point, we had 211 in. I thought that was really good, really, considering it wasn't the biggest game on paper. But it was good. It's good just to see the Johnsfield filling up again.
Absolutely.
It's good enough atmosphere, even without a bigger crowd. So long may that continue. We hope, Boris, if you're listening.
Told you he was an avid fan.
We hope so. I mean, it's not like he's got anything on, is it? He's got time to watch this every week, hasn't he? Surely.
Subscriber, I looked.
Now, unfortunately, no money went in the tin again. That's, come on, lads. You're going to have to start scoring some goals and keeping some clean sheets, boys. And my two players might play once in a while, and then I might have a chance of.
Lee Hutch is back fit now, so.
Of putting some money in. We were a bit unlucky with the clean sheet, like we say. It was just an absolutely brilliant free kick. There was nothing you could do about it. But I will bring on the money pot because we need to talk about Super 6. As you can see, we've had a fair few entries in, which we've been pleased with.
I'll run off with it.
People was handing out forms on Saturday. We've had a few emails. Goes without saying, we'll be in the clubhouse again this Saturday against Grimsby Borough. We'll have more forms to give out, or if you want to come and see us and hand your form in, that'd be great. Obviously, we've gone through the prizes and everything last week. It was all really great prizes, and just to emphasise, because a few people did ask, it's a £5 for the full season, not a £5 every week. So it's literally a £5. So yeah, we're pleased with the start, but we've got a couple of weeks to go, and we'd like to see even more money in there, because as you know, every penny of that is going back into the football club at the end of the season. So let's keep up with that and keep those entries coming in. I'm going to do a bit of a different feature tonight next. Obviously we've got no away ground review this week, so what we decided to do is have a bit of an argument. No.
Yeah,
he will turn into it.
Yes, he will.
It's already started.
So I hope you've got a bit of time on your hands, folks, because what we're going to do now is pick our all-time, between the three of us, our all-time Ferriby 11.
Manager and owner as well.
Yes.
Yeah, the owner one's going to be a great debate. That will go on forever.
And 4 subs.
And 4 subs. So, right.
Do you want me to read them out and then we just discuss?
We're going by position.
Yeah, so we'll start with
the goalkeepers.
So goalkeepers, we have got Adam Nicklin, Steve Wilson and Rory Watson.
Adam Nicklin, move on.
There really isn't much point in having a conversation there, is there?
No, I don't think there is.
Wilson was an North Ferriby United legend. He's been there a long time.
And Watson
was fantastic in the few games he played for us, and obviously he's gone on to bigger things. Yeah. But Adam Nicklin Even take out Wembley, he was a fantastic goalkeeper. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that's one of the obvious ones.
One of I think our moments. I don't think Jack was at the game, but one of our moments of being a Ferriby fan we'll never forget is that save at Hensford away. When we beat them, which basically just about secured the league title, and we won 3-2, and he made a save that I can picture it now, and it's 8-9 years ago, whatever it is now. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, Adam Nicklin.
Okay. Right back, we've got Paul Robson, our current assistant manager, Sam Topless and Steve Gardner. I think this is slightly tricky. I'll start. For me, I'm going to go with Paul Robson. Because he was a cracking player for us when we got out of the Northern Premier League. Okay, he did a shift in the Conference North, and he was just steady. He was a good player for us. I'm going to go with Paul Robson.
Cool.
You make a very good argument. Yeah. I mean, I would say I think a lot. The obvious one there, to some people, would be Topo.
Yeah.
And he was present in the team that won a lot, and he played at Wembley, and he was part of that great Billy Heath squad. But I sort of see where you're coming from with Robbo.
I think he was a solid player. We had never had any worries about him.
And we know he watches it. He
He
watches it, so I think...
Even a Robbo. Yeah, I'd go for Robbo as well. Robbo was a fantastic player. Good right back, had a good arm on him, good throw. Yeah, Topo is a great shout. I'd have Topo as a close second, but
yeah, it's close.
I think it's got to be Robbo.
Yeah. We're doing centre halves next.
Yes.
Go on.
This is going to get tasty.
Oh.
We've got Greg Anderson, Paul Foote, Danny Hone, Levi Tarbottom, and Ash Palmer.
Well, I know I'm going to be outvoted here, because I think the one we can all agree on is Danny Hone is the absolute shoe-in.
100%.
Yeah.
Best centre half I've seen play for this club.
Well, I was just about to say, I'm going to disagree with you on that fact. Ash Palmer's the best centre half to ever play for this club.
Nah.
Didn't play for us very long.
He didn't play for us long enough.
Danny Hone was better than Ash Palmer.
I disagree.
And Danny Hone had the memories.
Danny Hone.
Boston.
I will never not forgive Danny Hone for elbowing Ricky Miller at Boston.
No, to be fair, he scored the goal that got us promoted to the conference.
He did.
He also scored a goal at Boston and went mental. He knew how much we hated those inbreds. So, I'm going to go with Paul Foote and Danny Hone as my centre halves. Ash Palmer wasn't here long enough. So I can't think of him.
Danny Hone is your shoe-in. It's your second one.
Got to be Paul Foote.
I would make a case for Footy. Great leader.
He was.
Fantastic footballer. Great centre half.
And he was part, I suppose, of the very beginning of Ferriby getting to where they got eventually.
He was our captain.
And he was the captain.
Stuck with us through thick and thin.
He is Mr. North Ferriby in a lot of ways.
He still goes to the games. He still loves the club. Got to be Paul Foote. And plus, I don't want to be two-footed on a Monday night.
There's a couple there that could be given shouts. Greg is a shout. Greg was a fantastic.
We've also got players that we could have put here, but we missed out.
Yeah, this is one of those difficult positions. So we're going for Footy and Honey then.
Yeah, I think
so. That's probably about fair. Give a shout to Levi as well. Levi's been very good for us, and will only get better for as long as he stays here. So, in a few years, he'll be up there on that list.
I think he will win.
No doubt.
Definitely, yeah. This next one isn't even worth having a conversation about.
We're just putting Josh Wild.
Josh Wild.
Move on. One of the best players I've ever seen play for Ferriby.
So so far we've got Adam Nicklin in goal, Paul Robson at right back, Paul Foote, Danny Hone at centre half, Josh Wild at left back.
Just give a mention to the other two people who we did sort of put in the conversation, but
Kevin Larvin and Nathan Peake.
Kevin Larvin, what a throwback that is.
Yes. Okay, right midfield. We're doing 4-4-2 by the way.
Yes, 4-4-2.
4-4-2. Now, this is the one that's going to get interesting.
This is, yeah.
We've got Danny Emerton, Danny Clark, and Alex Davidson.
This is so difficult.
For me, I'm going to die on a hill for Danny Clark here right now. What a guy Danny Clark is. What a legend.
And
him and Billy work so well together.
the thing is, though,
He works his socks out. It's got to be Danny Clark.
we can probably work out where this is going to go because we know who his favourite player is.
It's got to be Danny Clark. Nobody
Look,
epitomises North Ferriby United for the Billy Heath era other than more than Danny Clark. Maybe Tom Denton does, but Danny Clark, right, did everything for us.
he's on one. He's on one.
Come on, he used to chase every ball.
Right,
on that
look,
right-hand side.
can we just calm down? Right.
Yes.
Look, Alex Davidson, I will say, fantastic on his day.
Yes.
Didn't have enough days.
Yeah.
That was probably the problem
Yeah.
with Alex. But on his day, at that level, you couldn't stop him. Mo has been through a hell of a lot with Ferriby. He's been through North Ferriby United. He's been up to the conference. You know, and now he's one of the mainstays in the team as North Ferriby FC. As everyone will know, I have a lot of time for Mo.
You have a lot of time for him.
Mo is my favourite ever Ferriby player. I'm not afraid to
Emo's a
say
cracking
that.
football player. I love Emo as well.
But again, it seems that you're getting your way quite a lot here, but you won't later on because there's one I'm not going to back down on. But this one, I sort of again have to begrudgingly agree because Danny Clark was.
You, Samuel Shepherd, are not going to back Danny Everton.
He thinks I'm going to give him a favour later on.
But if you say Emma, I get the deciding vote.
Okay, to make it interesting then, I will stick with Emma. Go on then.
Your winner's Danny Clark. He's your winner. I love Emma. I love Emma to bits, but Danny Clark is.
Did Danny Clark ever have a less than 7 out of 10 performance for Ferriby? He never did.
No, and that's why you've got to put him in.
And
Danny Clark is a legend.
It's the most awkward looking footballer ever, but teams just couldn't deal with him.
It was our identity, it was Danny Clark and Tom Denton.
There's still a reason why Danny Clark is still playing at step 2.
Yeah.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Emo could play that level.
Absolutely. Emma is a player with such unbelievable talent, unbelievable speed,
Can I
great
just
on
say,
the ball.
if Emma is watching, this time next year, if we're having the same discussion, Emma might be.
Absolutely.
Okay, now central midfield. Now this is a lot.
Right.
Trying to pick 2 of these.
Strap yourselves in.
Liam King, Russell Fry, Jamie Forrester, Paul Harsley, Simon Russell, Chris Boulder.
Right.
Well, you've got one shot.
Right, what we've got to say is 3 words: captain, leader, legend. Liam King, welcome to the all-time 11.
Absolutely.
100%. Absolutely. There's not a bad word I could say about Liam King.
No.
Fantastic player, fantastic leader for us, and you know. Wembley,
You can't argue.
You know,
You just cannot.
King is in, and King is the captain for me as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a case for Russ Fry, a legend.
I'm gonna put my case forward for Russ Fry.
Russ Fry was a fantastic footballer.
Yeah, he played so many games for the club.
He did.
I remember the Russ Fry Fries when we played Tamworth home in 2015.
However, I'll never forgive him for that penalty that he missed against Stalybridge when we could have gone to Doncaster in the FA Cup in the first round.
I'm gonna say Russ. I might get outvoted here. An absolute servant for the club. I'm gonna go Russ, and I'm gonna stop and I'll use to discuss.
See, in my opinion, ability-wise, Chris Boulder was a better player. I think.
Yeah.
Didn't have the longevity that Russ had.
No.
Russ was one of them players like you didn't really notice him, did you?
No,
but he did a job.
His job.
He did his job. The others on the list, obviously Forrester doing great things, and you know it won't be long before he's up with the calibre of the likes of Kingy. I wouldn't have thought. Paul Harsley we've put in as a bit of a throwback to when we first went.
That's my second choice behind Russ. He had so much quality.
He did.
I remember that goal against Ashton at over 18 from the halfway line, straight in the top corner. Absolutely cracking footballer. He was far too good when he was with us.
He was too good for that level.
But I'm going to go with Russ for longevity.
See, I have an interesting shout on this.
Come on.
And I think he knows what I'm going to say. I'd be willing to chuck Jamie Forrester up there. The ability that Jamie Forrester has is unbelievable.
I agree.
We've seen it from him, not just this season, we've had him before, we've had him when it was in the NFU days. So he goes back, and the ability he's had from a young lad to come up to where he is now, I mean, he's not old, let's face it, but I do not think that when I've been watching Ferriby, I've seen many better passers of the ball than Jamie Forrester.
I have to agree.
Or free kick takers.
He's made a very persuasive argument there.
So, my two would be Liam King and Jamie Forrester.
Should we let him have it?
Well, I think we'll go for that.
We'll let him have it.
We'll go for that. We'll go
have
for Forrester. Yeah, Forrester and Kingy.
Yeah, go on then.
Right.
Left side of midfield.
Here we go. Oh,
No, strap yourselves in. The fireworks are about to go off.
I'm going to sit back and let these two.
We've got Jason St Just, Wayne Brooksby, Ryan Williams.
May I just butt in before you two have your argument and say where my vote would go?
Where would your vote go?
My vote would, for one reason and one reason only, go for Wayne Brooksby. Mainly because he turned up. I'm going to say on the big occasions he's going to shout Wembley to me.
Right.
Yes, but Wayne Brooksby did it bigger, more consistently.
Right,
and that is why
I'm going to follow up.
Brooksby.
Sam's going to be shocked at what I'm going to say here. Wayne Brooksby was a better football player. Jason St Just is more of an icon at the club. He turned up at the club's biggest moment, which was Wembley. So Sam, I'm going to go with you here and say St Just.
So after all this,
Outrageous.
we've had 3 days of thinking we're going to have a big row here. And I'm telling you now, if you'd have tried to row with me, I would have not let it go. Right? No offence to Wayne Brooksby.
Yeah, no offence at all.
Jason St Just, right? We, in lockdown, on the anniversary, we watched the final again over Zoom or whatever.
I tried to, but my signal's at home, it was just pixels.
And until you watch that game back, it's hard to comprehend how well Jason St Just played in that game. He was amazing.
Absolutely.
And not just that, he had a big advance on the semi-final as well. Right, especially the away game, to that iconic picture of him, as you remember in the corner at Bath. And
he scored the penalty.
Me and you used to stand on the terraces and sing songs about Jason St Just, Mr. Walker.
We did. So I'm gonna have to agree.
The problem is, you've outlined 2 games to me.
No.
But so look at the bigger picture.
The sheer ability that he had.
The bigger picture. He was a bit of a mercenary. We're not going to sit here and say he wasn't a mercenary.
Yeah, but you can't sit here and say that Wayne Brooksby didn't have the same qualities as Jason St Just.
But he didn't have. Granted, Wayne Brooksby scored the equaliser against Fylde in the playoff final. We get that. But Jason St Just, he just has that iconic moment, and that's where you've got to put him in.
He's in 2-1. He's
Sorry. Okay, so the midfield is Danny Clark, Liam King, Jamie Forrester and Jason St Just.
What a midfield.
Are you ready for this? We've got to pick 2 out of these 6 football players. Gary Bradshaw, Tom Denton, Anthony Wilson, Ryan Kendall, Nathan Jarman and Tom Corner.
I mean,
yeah.
When you think that all of those strikers have played for our club, I mean, it's an honour that we've been able to watch them all for a start, I must say.
Danny Clark's in for being the identity of North Ferriby United. Tom Denton was also, even maybe on more of a bigger scale, the image of North Ferriby United.
On those 6 names that you've got, or however many names it is, Tom Denton is your shoe-in.
Tom Denton's in for being
100%.
For being the image of North
For
Ferriby
being
United.
Tom Denton.
The image of North Ferriby United. Everywhere you went, everyone knew Tom Denton. He used to go to these little places like Solihull and all that, and they all knew who Tom Denton was.
Farnborough definitely knew who Tom Denton was.
He won games on his own for us.
He did.
From Fiat Boston, they still have nightmares about it. Cal Piagiani, when he's playing in League 2, when he closes his eyes, he still sees Denton in that semi-final. Tom Denton's in.
Right, well, I'm going to make the argument here, because you've spoken quite a lot. The next one that you need to be selecting is Mr. Anthony Wilson.
Well, I was going to say that.
Now, he is, ability-wise, as a striker, the best player that's ever played for North Ferriby.
I agree.
Whether it's United or FC.
I agree.
No 2 ways about it. No. If he hadn't have had injury problems, he would have easily been a Football League player.
He'd be playing in League 1, he'd be scoring goals in that league.
When you see some of the people that are in them leagues, you like some Carl Wootton, I mean, my God.
I think about Sam Cosgrove.
So, I mean, again, there's iconic moments we can pick out. The first ever trip to Stockport, little North Ferriby went to Stockport and Anthony Wilson tore them a new one, and we beat them.
Hence for the way twice.
I remember his debut away at Nantwich, and I just saw this guy come on the pitch and he just ripped them to bits. I was like, who is this that we've signed? Yeah. And it was brilliant. And obviously he moved on and he tried to, he got the move to Barrow and then it never worked. Once he left Ferriby, his career basically ended.
It was a bad injury.
He got a bad injury and he's, it never quite happened for him after that. But that period that we did have him, I mean, what a footballer.
There's one big one you're leaving out here, boys. 400 goals Gary Bradshaw scored for this club.
And that's the problem we've got.
400 goals.
You're also missing out Ryan Kendall scored a lot of goals for us.
And 2 goals at Wembley.
2 goals at Wembley. Jarman made a massive impact.
Absolutely.
And Tom done a great job.
I think overall, on an ability wise, you would go Anthony Wilson over Gary Bradshaw. However, Gary Bradshaw has to be up there because scoring over 400 goals for the club, he's a legend.
I'm going to say something, and if I don't pick Bradshaw, I think I'm being a hypocrite. I've said Denton and Clark were the image of North Ferriby United when they were there. Bradshaw was for years before that. He scored many goals to keep us in the Northern Premier League and keep us fighting in that league for many years.
So who are you taking out then?
I'm going Tom Denton and Gary Bradshaw, Sam. Just for the 400 goals.
I see that. And when you say, we spoke about Paul Foot on a similar vein, when you say the words North Ferriby, the first player that everyone knows who's played for North Ferriby is Gary Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dino, you're not as famous as you think you are.
But a question you've got to ask yourself is, remember, this is our all-time 11. It's not just who was a better footballer. It's who excited us the most. We've got to think.
And we have got a subs bench. So if we say Denton and Bradshaw, then because I can't be dissuaded from Denton. Dents was.
I would agree with Denton and Bradshaw.
Go on, and then put Anthony Wilson on the bench.
Anthony Wilson is a substitute striker.
What about a substitute midfielder?
It's got to be Russ, I think.
Can you allow Russ, Sam? I'm going to say Russ.
I'd like to. Are we going just a midfield and wing? Are they?
Go on, we'll go midfield and wing.
Right, so I will agree then on Russ if we can have the winger as Danny Emerton.
I'd agree with that.
Go on then. Yeah, I'd agree.
Right.
Defenders. Just go centre half. Overall defender.
Overall defender on that list, I would be shouting for.
I would go Greg.
I would have to say Greg.
Go on, I'm going
it's
Greg.
got to be Greg.
I'm going Greg.
Go on.
Friend of the show, Greg Anderson.
I'm Greg.
Goalkeeper.
Anthony Pecora.
He's not on the list.
He should be.
You know what? Rory Watson.
I'd probably go for Rory.
Maybe was the best goalkeeper to ever play for the club in terms of ability.
Well, look at where he is now.
I would probably go Rory Watson on that.
So
go on, Ash. Read us it in full.
In goal, we've got Adam Nicklin. Right back, Paul Robson. Centre halves of Paul Foot and Danny Hearn. Left back, Josh Wilde. Right midfield, Danny Clark. In the middle, we've got Liam King and Jamie Forrester. On the left, we've got Jason St Just, and up front, we've got Gary Bradshaw and Tom Denton.
What a sign.
Our substitutes are Rory Watson, Greg Anderson, Danny Emerton, Russell Fry, and Anthony Wilson.
Wow.
What a sign.
We've got to pick a manager. Someone's got to manage this club. We've got Billy Heath, Chris Boulder, Neil Allison.
Well, I'm sorry, Chris, if you're watching, but he's missed out on midfielders, and I'm afraid he's going to miss out on the manager as well.
It's got to be big.
It's got to be Big Bad Billy on it.
It has to be Billy, but technically, if you want to go on the fine technical and the football that we play, I would say Chris. However, for the sake of this,
we played great football on the Billy.
Big Bad Billy.
We did not play great.
1-0 away from home. There is no 1-0 away from home specialist like Sir Billy Heath.
Well, we knew, didn't we? When we scored a goal after 5 minutes, we
were done
again.
we were done. That was we were done.
I mean, we'll never forget, you know, the moments with Billy as well when he was screaming Lammy when he got sent off against Exeter, or running down the touchline, punching the air at Wembley when Kendo equalised. You know, it was. And obviously, gotta say, Bobby Carroll as well, his partner in crime.
He comes with him. Comes with him.
Chris, you'd be assistant.
Oh, just a Bobby Carroll's assistant.
Nah, Chris will be in there.
Are we even going to attempt to do it on a chair?
Well, this is the big debate. Well, I thought you said this was going to take us ages.
Come on then, read the names.
We've got Sellers, we've got the Forsters, and we've got the everyone's favourite double act, comedy double act of Jamie Walton and Carl Chadwick.
Wow.
Let me think.
You better switch off now and come back in 10 minutes when we've had a think.
Les, shut the book.
Fair enough.
Time 11. Done.
Them other jokers don't deserve to be written on the same page as Sir Les.
They don't.
So there we go. That was nice and easy.
Oh, we've got to wait for him again now.
Oh no, it's his section. Well, it's because he didn't come to the Albion game, so I've got to give him something.
And there you are.
Oh, here we go. Here comes 3-0.
So, 2 trivia questions, and then 3 players. I'm going to make a confession about the players. I haven't actually thought of them yet. I'm winging it.
Oh my
Jesus
God. We're very prepared on this podcast.
If I'm honest, I forgot tonight.
Outrageous.
I've started work again this week,
Look
so
at it.
but we'll be fine. I've got a big depth of knowledge.
You don't.
Right, quiz. Okay.
Do you know your quiz questions?
Yeah, I thought them. Yeah,
Right, okay.
So we won the FA Trophy in 2015. The year before that, we had a good run.
Gosport Borough.
Oh,
That's not the answer.
Oh,
We lost to Gosport Borough in the semi-final. On the way, we beat 3 then conference clubs. Can you name them?
oh dear. Then,
I'll give you a point for each one.
Oh God.
There's 3 of them.
guys, listen.
2 away from home, 1 at home.
Away. Oh, I can picture it.
Was one working?
Woking at home's 1, so that's 1-0 to Sam.
Oh dear. I'm going to have a nightmare today.
Away from home, and they were then in the conference.
I'm trying to think of who was played.
This is.
Did you were at any of the games?
I wasn't.
Was
I
that?
was only at one of them.
Oh, of course. Lincoln.
Lincoln.
We battered Lincoln
Yeah.
away, didn't we? Yeah,
4-0,
that was
yeah.
one of them.
That's
Oh,
2 now.
God, yeah.
I call them a conference club. They weren't really a conference club.
Was it Hyde?
It was.
Oh, was it?
So that's 3-0 to Sam. Sam's battered you, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to like that.
Okay. So, we got promoted in 2016. We got beat the first game to Tamworth that season. We then beat Chorley on a Tuesday night. Who scored a hat-trick?
Bloody
Bateson.
4-0 Sam.
hell. Jesus Christ.
4-0 Sam. Sam is battering you. Right, okay, so the players, which I've really prepared for. Thinking of a midfielder, central midfielder, class act. We gave him the same name as an Italian legend.
Adam Balder.
Oh, he just beat me.
4-1. 4-1. Still time here, so. Next player, I'm thinking of a left-sided midfielder, who we signed from Gainsborough.
Luke Lofts.
No.
Oh, I didn't say.
Hated by Boston.
Jamie Yates.
Jamie
Yeah.
Yates.
Yes.
That's 6-1.
That means I can't lose this week.
Can't
Finally,
lose.
yes.
You want to give up or you want to ask?
No, go on.
Right, okay.
Fight to the end.
I'm thinking of a striker who we got on loan from Grimsby. Scored at his debut and did nothing since then.
Is that from
He was in the Northern Premier League at the time.
Grimsby?
It was a very famous assist by Mr. Phil Jackman.
Grimsby.
Chris White.
Grimsby.
Strikers at that point. There was only Bradshaw.
We got a little kid. He was only small. We got him on loan. I think he was small. He was definitely on loan from Grimsby. He was Frickley. I'm sure he played Frickley and he scored on his debut. I don't know if he scored since. He was playing at King's Lynn at some point.
Bloody
I
hell.
might have to give up on that one. I don't know.
Grimsby. Everybody's getting bored here, but I'm racking my brains.
I'll be shocked if you got it. I think it's before your time.
Don't know.
Samble Reddy.
Oh, yes.
Can I just say I've never heard of that name in my life?
Yeah, there's reasons. The reasons why.
Right.
So
That was a bit of a poor evening for me.
6-1, Sam.
Yeah, 2-1 in quizzes.
Congratulations.
So, next up, take us down memory lane, please,
Okay,
Ash.
time to get on the bus, time to go down memory lane. Right. We're going to go back to the 26th of March 2011 today. And it's a very poignant day in our history, this, isn't it, Sam? It's our first ever North Ferriby away game.
It was.
We went all the way to Bury to watch us play FC United of Manchester. Finished 2-0 to FC United of Manchester, 2 goals from Mike Norton, who was an absolute legend for that club.
It was.
The Ferriby 11 that day, Steve Wilson in goal, James Williams at right back.
Yes. He was my first favourite Ferriby player.
He was. I remember the chair at Northwich getting broken, we didn't come on once. Sam Denton and Ben Turner at centre half, Kev Larvin at left back. Midfield of Pete Davidson, Russ Fry, Chris Bolden, Paul Harsley. Wayne Brooksby and Gary Bradshaw as well playing. The attendance that day, 2,827.
Was it their youth day?
It was their youth day. So yeah, I think that helps towards the crowd. My highlight of the day has nothing to do with the game. On the way out the ground, we got a burger. I was tucking into this burger, it was a lovely burger, a juicy burger. And Sam went, "What's this?" He pulled out a piece of plastic in his burger and he was gutted. And I remember Sam getting some free chips, didn't you?
Yeah,
Free chips.
I went and complained.
You complained you got some free chips. What can you remember about the day?
Well, I can remember that there's some very embarrassing photos on Facebook of a very young looking me and you and a couple of other of our mates that went with Ferriby scarves. And it was a big day for us because obviously FC United at that point were massive in that league, and it was a big day when you played them. And as we discussed before, it was quite a big game in terms of where we were in the league.
We were above them at the time.
We froze a bit that day.
We did.
It was disappointing for us because we built it up and thought, oh, we're going on the bus and we're doing it, and it's our first away game, and then we got beat 2-0 and it was a bit of a come down.
Yeah.
But it got us, it whet our appetite, didn't it?
It did, I must say it did. And many more away games.
Christ knows how many away games we've been to since. But that was the very first one.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant atmosphere. I mean, you've got to see, I've only can say good things about that club.
Yeah,
The fan base that they have at that level is just unbelievable, and I'm sure we'll visit FC United again because when we went to their new ground, which was another very memorable day.
For other reasons, we was a bit older at that point, Sam.
Yeah, we were. But yeah, we were 4 baby-faced lads, weren't we?
We were.
And it was a great day, great experience, and like I say, it got us on the road to being like we are now. I think we'd been to quite a few home games that season. We'd started off at the very beginning with the Billy Bly game against Hull City. We were hooked after that.
Can I ask you a question? What was the first league game they went to that year? Do you remember?
I was going to say Bradford, but that was a friendly against Bradford City. The league game
Got beat, I think.
I can't remember.
Chasetown.
Ah, right. But yeah, that's a good one to pick out. Mike Norton, as you say. What was that player they had? Did he?
Oh, the one you used to.
Carlos Roque.
Yeah, Carlos Roque. Wasn't even that good.
No, but everyone on the Northern Premier League Facebook group used to rave about him, didn't they?
He was a good player. When Sam was a keyboard warrior back in the day.
Still is. I don't know what you're talking about back in the day.
I'm a reformed character.
But yeah, cracking day, and I think that's enough on that.
Yeah, another good one. You're doing well on these.
Can he shut up now?
Yeah, he's this is a three-way thing. We spoke about Albion.
It's a one-way thing tonight.
Bloody isn't.
He's also wearing Boston colours as well. I don't think we should allow that really.
Boston.
No, does
With his rubbish NFL team.
I was going to say, it's a crap NFL team who wear rubbish colours, but right anyway, go on.
Right, so next up is we need to have a look to the weekend. If we're allowed in by Saturday. It depends what mood Boris is in, I think. But I think our final friendly.
It is.
We welcome, and guess what? Another Northern Counties Premier League side.
We genuinely have played half of that division.
In Grimsby Borough, who are one of the better teams in that league, definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll be welcoming, I think I'm right in saying welcoming Brodie Robertson back.
Yep.
sure to be another good game, and our last game before we kick off for real the week after. Potentially, you know.
If anyone knows what's going on.
Even in St Helens, if you're about.
We don't know where, we don't know when. I don't want to sound like Vera Lynn, but you know, we might be playing St Helens the next week. We'll have to see.
I don't think they're aware, to be honest.
They're probably still moving the goalposts for their fans.
So anyway, yeah, right. So we've got Grimsby Borough on Saturday, Jack. I think this is where we really go for it. This one.
Yeah, you've got to.
And give it a proper go with. Give some players, most of the players 90 minutes. I would think that are going to be looking to start the league
100%.
and the cup the week after. But like I say, we want to, you know, long term we want to be pushing. So we want to be looking at a team like Grimsby Borough and marking ourselves against them. So it's going to be a good one.
100%. Yeah, obviously it's good minutes for the boys again. Grimsby Borough, a good side, arguably one of the better sides we're going to play this pre-season. Obviously fairly late arranged, we weren't due to have a game, but obviously I don't think we could really go 2 weeks.
No, I think we needed it.
Yeah, and like we said, Grimsby Borough will be a great test. They're a good side, and like you said, Sam, a chance for players to get 90 minutes that haven't had that chance yet. And we'll probably see on Saturday what's going to be close to Chris Boulder's team at St Helens. But yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Obviously we're welcoming Brody back, as you said. Brody, fantastic striker, going to cause us a lot of problems, but let's face it, if we can match ourselves well against Grimsby Borough, that's a really, really good thing for us.
I think this is the one. I think this is our yardstick.
Yeah.
Grimsby Borough, even though they are a smaller club than us, have to be that's what we're aspiring to be.
Well, it's a side that we lost to in pre-season last season as well.
I think Grimsby Borough, the way they've gone about things, we need to aspire to be a bit like that. And going up from this league easy, you know, for they did a couple of years ago, and then establishing yourself well in the county's prem. I think it's going to be a big test. I'm looking forward to it.
He's going to be at the game, ladies and gents. I know he was all in the clubhouse on Saturday thinking, I thought this was a three-person act, this podcast. Where's the other one? He never seems to be here.
I've got my pen for my autographs.
He's back.
His missus has let him come.
We're going to put him on Super 6 forms duty. He can make up for lost time. So come and see him in the bar.
I'm your designated driver, by the way. I can do what I want.
Oh yes, you are. You are designated driver on Saturday as well. I'm looking forward to the game again. I just look forward to any Ferriby game with the way the life is at the moment. It's one of the few things we can enjoy. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Remember 2 o'clock kick-off. Hopefully a decent crowd in again for our last chance to see the boys before the big kick-off the week after. And again, I just hope to see more of the same attacking intent from Ferriby. So, final order of business. Seems to have been a packed show tonight. We've got a lot in.
How long it is. Wait till next week.
Next week, we'll just say now, next week is going to be a special edition, and we have a special guest next week.
Oh, yes.
Special is the word.
Strap yourselves in, guys. Strap yourselves in.
Next week we're going to be doing our season predictions, but they're going to be hidden and we're not going to reveal until the end of the season. But that's next week, but it's a reason to tune in for next week because it's going to be a good one. But yes, finally tonight, predictions for the Grimsby Borough game. We always go this way around the table, so we'll start with you.
Negativity corner.
Yes.
You get beat 2-1.
Short and sweet, right? Okay.
I think we're going to win 2-1.
I think we're going to win 3-0, and we're going to have some money to put in the pot.
Well, I hope we got one.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope we do.
I hope a couple of players get yellow cards who I haven't got. And I hope somebody scores who I have got.
I hope we keep a clean sheet. Even just a clean sheet for us all to put a bit of money in, but yeah.
I'm really confident. So yeah, it's going to be a good one. So keep looking out for us at 2010 Villagers on Twitter, the proud sponsors of Mr. Danny East. We're not going to get tired of saying that. And keep Super 6 entries coming in. It's going well so far.
Good
response so far. But keep them coming. It's going to be a great competition. It's going to be, hopefully, like we said before, hopefully we have a bit of a title race in it. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. So come and see us on Saturday to talk to us about that. And yeah, that's it for another week. That's episode 3 done and dusted. We'll see you next week for a very special edition.
Jam-packed edition.
See you later.
See ya.